Hello friends and family. Once again, thanks to the excellent replay naming system by cowofschmau, I actually have a document here telling me who picked and banned what map. Haha. So cowofschmau going to be picking this one to be the Boneyard, and BlueBoo going to pick Torn Crater as the second map, and we shall go from there. Map picks actually I think being very logical right here. I feel like Boneyard a pretty good map for anti-Conf play in general. Maybe that's just me though. And I definitely think Torn Crater a very good map for Conf, which was BlueBoo's pick. So I think those picks pretty logical there. Happy to see them. Both players pretty much mirroring each other right now. So we got double salvager production from both players here. Scanner going to be placed just about in the middle of the map there. Looks like Blue's base spinner also headed straight out to the center of the map. Like, where's he headed exactly? Probably like right there. So, who do I think is going to win this matchup? I'm really not sure actually. And I could have looked on Battlefy to see who won it already, but I didn't do that. Aren't you proud of me? This one I think will be a bit more of a toss-up. I remember these two players played in Kharak Cup 1, didn't they? I believe, if I'm remembering these correctly, that BlueBoo actually won both of those matches there. But both in sort of strange fashion, where I kind of feel like cowofschmau should have taken it, but then he sort of choked. That gives me like a feeling that cowofschmau should get into that position again, but it also gives me a feeling he should choke again. So I don't really know. It's hard to say who's going to win this. And we never know how the two players may have changed between tournaments, so this will be exciting. We'll just have to see. Sandskimmer armor coming out for BlueBoo very early. That's something he tends to do. Fabrication thereof not even finished yet for cowofschmau, but I'm sure it will be in just a second with fleet capacity 45 coming up. And that second production cruiser. And that means if cowofschmau wants to, he can definitely outproduce the Sandskimmers, but there's always that lurking threat in the background of these blast drones chilling out on the extraction zone there. We're just gonna have to see. Fleet capacity 45 finishing for BlueBoo now. What's his resources like? 0. Oh, so he's definitely using them all. The production cruiser from cowofschmau actually really close to finding these blast drones here, but he is going to find them with that Sandskimmer. That is really, really good for cowofschmau. I've often said versus Conf, the first step is find the base runner. If you can find the blast drones, even better. Sandskimmer production coming out of pretty much both of these production cruisers, I would say. If that were true, but apparently it's not. Actually, armor finished for cowofschmau, and so the blast drone pops itself on one of the Sandskimmers, but does not get the kill there. But yeah, production for cowofschmau kind of weird here. I feel like maybe he's, maybe he's trying to save up for something, but he's not double producing like how he could be able to if he wanted to. In fact, not even really single producing. Okay, now he's double producing. But I mean, does he want to go refinery mode? Does he want to go like the Soul Chip Fab? I don't know, but it is going to be Soul Chip Tech. Okay, so we did need 600 CUs for that. I guess that makes sense. But this is a lot of Sandskimmers, and I really feel he should give some respect to this. Just produce as many Sandskimmers as he can to, you know, help fight this off here. Range is on the Gaussian carrier there, which has pretty good point defense in vanilla. Not as good as the mod in general, though. I believe anyway. A-Game might correct me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's true. Sandskimmers for BlueBoo getting in here. They're going to start picking off salvagers there. And with that armor being on both sides, the Sandskimmers are just a little tougher than they should be normally. And that is going to allow him to pick off now 2 salvagers. And now probably a 3rd. He's using the hold ground command. I like it. Never mind, he's not. But he does get a 3rd salvager there. And this is quite a lot of damage coming in here for BlueBoo already. A Soul Chip fabrication coming out for him as well. Only thing I wanted to be careful with is this production cruiser, but playing as Conf, he does have that speed boost. He can get out of there a little bit faster than his opponent anyway. So 3 salvagers get picked off. The only losses here are Sandskimmers, which are not really terribly important, are they? And BlueBoo is just going to get out of here. He's feeling free. Yeah, I really think cowofschmau should have produced more Sandskimmers, sort of, you know, as a check to that threat there. In fact, he's going to kind of come in here without his entire force, and this I think is going to be quite a punishable move here from BlueBoo, as he is going to actually fight off the sand skimmers still rather effectively. This should not be happening if you have 2 production cruisers. That's definitely not... That's not how it works. BlueBoo also getting armored unit defenses level 1, which is something you really need. cowofschmau not getting that, and so if it comes down to an armor fight, I think Blue also has the edge on that one. Well, then again, cowofschmau does have the double production. He is using it this time. And as BlueBoo, having seen 2 production cruisers, I think I would be, you know, falling back at this point. Maybe getting refinery tech and then getting another, whatchamacallit, production cruiser, but I don't know. This is looking okay for him. I'd like him to put on the second mobility support there, get the +6 max speed instead of 3, but that's kind of small potatoes. Taking a lot of damage on those sand skimmers there. The other assault ship is here. It's a 2-on-2 fight, and he has the upgrade. He has level 2 coming out now. cowofschmau meanwhile taking up to railguns, but uh-oh, what's this though? That could be pretty bad. Of course, Blue got quite a bit of power in his carrier. Sometimes I can speak. Oh, but you know what? This is actually going to be huge problems here. If you're Blue, I think actually you just keep fighting the salvagers there. I think because you're going to kill them off. Then again, you're going to kill off these assault ships too, I guess, when you have this much more armor than your opponent. Maybe this is fine too. Salvagers for cowofschmau starting to flock here. Pretty decent carrier block comes in actually, and you can see these assault ships not attacking at all. Oh no, BlueBoo, don't do this. But the sand skimmers for cowofschmau are here, and Blue does not recognize it. He doesn't have the power on at all. Oh no. Yeah, you definitely want to power this up once you see this happening. Oh no. Oh no. So it's going to be kind of like a double wipe on the field now. As I think all of the salvagers from cowofschmau are going to go down here, but the same could be said for BlueBoo. And Blue has got to just stay in there and finish these guys off, because I know he can. Then again, he's kind of already denying mining, isn't he? But it'd be much better for him if he just finishes those guys off. Second production cruiser is actually on the way now for BlueBoo. What's this resource situation like? 0 CUs. Okay, you gotta be careful here, buddy. I would actually retire these guys because they're probably gonna get killed here at this point. Definitely drop this guy off so that you have the resources to make more salvagers if you need to. But see, the reason why I think Blue should stick around here is because his assault ships are much more impervious to that carrier fire than his opponent's sand skimmers are, so if they do kind of a base trade here, he's actually on top of that, right? He does get back in with those sand skimmers there. Gonna want to start mining here for sure. He does, and then gonna want to start replenishing his base, but he can't do that until that production cruiser's finished. Ooh. Second thing gonna come out here. Second artifact gonna get extracted. Yeah, the assault ships just come beelining straight in for the eco. Sting them where it really hurts, you know, as they would have said in B movie. And that is really gonna hurt. Carrier block is pretty effective though, once again. Assault ships kind of derping here a little bit. Oh my gosh, why are they... Oh no. That's actually pretty unfortunate for BlueBoo, but again, cowofschmau gonna retire the salvagers there. You know, maybe that actually is kind of like a fair move at this point, but it's gotta hurt. He can triple produce salvagers to rebuild here, but really he needs assault ships, and I really feel he ought to just make some. It's the game of no eco. That's very obvious at this point. You can see Blue prioritizing the CUs more than anything else. It probably makes sense, although I'm not so sold on the way he's actually not filled up the main before he starts mining long distance there. Cow prioritizing RUs, and that's definitely the right choice as well. He actually has just spent a bunch of RUs, I think, on Power Reserve 1. And then a base runner gonna start coming out here, actually. That's maybe a good idea. Refiner mode is actually finished for Blue. Oh, okay, so I didn't catch that. Oh dear. Oh dear, we are in trouble. Well, his refiner mode tech being done means he's actually on 2 base right now. His opponent's definitely not. So when I look at this, this could actually be some serious problems for BlueBoo here. Or for cowofschmau, sorry. Base runner gonna finish now. I don't know, I mean he could extract, but it's always tricky. Once he picks up the artifact, obviously Blue knows exactly where he is. And he's got armored unit defenses too. I almost just get 3 here and go back in for the carrier, honestly. He's chosen to back away instead. But especially as refinery mode starts coming out for cowofschmau now, his bases are going to be even more, you know, they're going to be more thin, they're more spread out. So you can maybe do even more damage. Yeah, armored unit defenses 3 is coming out, and it looks like he is indeed moving out across the map there. So this is going to be pretty hairy for cowofschmau, I'll put it that way. cowofschmau got railgun tech a long time ago, but he's finally going to start producing those. Going to be an assault railgun coming out of one of his carriers, or cruisers. I'm not Magpie, I swear. Production carriers. Anyway, and BlueBoo actually getting missile ship fabrication, that's probably wise, I would say, because you know your opponent had assault ship tech as well. Maybe he's going to go for, interceptors. Not going to be the case here. Yeah, armored units from BlueBoo really going to want to spread out across the map here onto his opponent's expansions and try to hold him down off of them. And I think that is kind of the general location he's moving to. Could have been there a little bit faster, but he also is pretty safe in this position, which I guess has its own merits. Actually, Sandscarer tech's starting to come out now from Blue. I'm not totally sold on that, but he did see the railguns here, so I guess he feels he can't get in there with the assault ships. Maybe just tech into another unit. Actually, interceptor fabrication's coming out from him, which I think is probably the better choice. But he'll have them both. And Con of Siege is always an option here too. Maybe he should have just gone for that, but he does have quite a few Sandscavers here. It's easy to say. cowofschmau, having finished refinery mode, is going to be on 2 base at least. His opponent only actually mining C's, it looks like, from this location, and only with 1 salvager. That's a bit of a choke, but he'll probably realize that in a second. So they're kind of both on 2 base, actually, now that I look at it. Sandscarer is detected by this base runner, but that is going to lose its life for it. I can't even click on him. Carrier doing an effective job of kind of blocking the assault ships there off of the targets that they'd want to get onto. They're going to have to back away there. But the Sandscarers are in position here. They could just charge right in and just kill everything. I don't know if Blue sees this, but if he does, I mean, that's open for you. And once you kill off the railguns, you're faster than the carrier. So you can just kind of charge in there and do whatever you want, I feel. Looks like that window kind of closing. Assault ships are going to get up onto the well, they're actually not. They're going to get near the railguns, but not close enough. A lot of splash damage being done here, but... oh man, a lot of splash damage, actually. But it looks like the Sandscarers have found their way onto the railguns, and they're going to go down here. Now, assault ships don't really want to be attacking a carrier, that's for sure. I'd rather have them move those out into another location. Like, one of the bases, obviously, but, they're actually just gonna move away, it looks like. I guess that's fair. Sandscaper's coming in onto the back lines now. Blue begins producing, interceptors. He's actually got 2 of them already, so the 3rd one is on the way now. Sandscaper's gonna go down here on the main, or on the 2nd, sorry. These assault ships really having trouble finding their way around this carrier, clearly. Oh, it's a massacre! Oh no! Look at all these Sandscavers just get destroyed there. Ripped into shreds. I've just been informed there's something urgent taking my attention, so I'm gonna get back to this in just a moment. I'll see you then. I've returned. Sorry, I got word that we were accidentally waterboarding some corn, so... But it's all fixed now. It's all fixed now. Back to the game at hand, though, these assault ships have finally found their way around the carrier onto the main there. Interceptors come out now, actually. They're starting to do some damage, too. They need to be careful. They're not going to be very careful, so they die, actually. But the main does get wiped out here. All but one salvager who's very nervously sitting there on 20 HP while the assault ships decide not to shoot at him. He's a pretty lucky guy. Whoa, excuse me. I drank a bit of water myself. Starting to get the hiccups there. Anyway, heavy railgun's starting to be produced now by BlueBoo, so he's just teching all across the board here, but that is going to be pretty convenient for him. Missile ship fabrication starts to come out for cowofschmau, and it looks like they're just going for the same techs on the other side of the board. Except, BlueBoo actually also going for precision bomber fabrication, so he's a fan of peanuts, you can see. Railguns are in position here, but this carrier actually is significantly powered up, so we're going to want to be careful with it. He has figured out his third base, by the way. He's mining there correctly now. And cowofschmau, rather wisely, positioning his assault ships just on the cusp of this hill over here, so... Well, do you think that's a cusp or a corner, huh? I don't know if anyone's gonna get that joke. Anyway, precision bomber fabrication, though, finishing just about now for BlueBoo. I'm wondering if he's actually gonna make some of these. We don't usually see them in play. But if they're not scouted, like if the tech isn't seen, they can be pretty crippling, too. That assault ship, pretty lucky, but he's just gonna throw away his luck. No, he is the most lucky assault ship that there is. Gonna start the slow process of personal healing, but get killed anyway. And that carrier really kind of taking names here, though. Blue just not totally finding the right way around him. What you want to do is just like attack on the flanks with like separate armies, you know, like 2 assault ships over here, 2 over here, and then 2 over here to follow the other 2. You know, pull his army back and forth, and he just can't follow it enough. Because this carrier represents a really powerful unit, but a really slow, powerful unit. Actually, EMP rounds getting researched by BlueBoo now, maybe trying to, you know, maybe trying to prove me wrong in the last game I had with him where I said pretty much I didn't think there was any use for them. That's an interesting angle there, where the carrier can hit the railguns, but the railguns can't hit the carrier. Wow. I never thought such things could be, and it's actually a little strange that, you know, you can't aim at the carrier over these, like, little pieces of rubble that it could literally float over, but that's just the boneyard for you. Precision Bomber came in and just hit on the carrier twice, I think. I don't think it really did anything particularly, and it also revealed the tech. I think if you're Blue, you want to build up until you have like 3 of them or something, and then just come in and wipe out a production cruiser. Summary execution, that's what we're in it for. Main is completely exposed now. Sandstorm is going to want to come in there. But Blue just kind of focused on this carrier a little bit too much. I think, you know, you just kind of want to go around him. Just pretend he's not even there. Because he's too slow to really catch you if you do that. Sandscammers especially, they're not going to do anything here. Oh, I say that. Cow's carrier actually starting to get pretty low here. But if Cow can kill off these railguns, it's not going to matter. Definitely what you should do at this point, he's close enough to attack, is turn the power down off these 2 and put it onto the weapons. Try and kill off those railguns a little faster. Carrier gets down to 39%. Now, again, these Sandscammers, though, they don't have any business being here. Just come around, take out the main. Like, that's going to be really easy for you. He's obviously using them for vision, I understand that, but I don't think he should be. Assault ship actually gets up into the main now for BlueBoo, but there's only RU salvagers left here. I wonder if that's not true on Cow's side, actually. Well, that makes sense. He hasn't been doing as much mining in general, has he? Bomber can afford to take some shots by the production cruiser. He's got plenty of help. Although he's actually out of missiles, so Blue just keeps trying to get into fire, but he doesn't have anything left. I'm telling you, I gave it all I had. Sandscammer's desperately trying to kill the carrier there, but they're not managing to do net damage. That's not a surprise, really. And Cow just kind of doing a good job juking the railguns. He's going to kill off all these sandspears. It's really just kind of silly to leave them in here just to get killed like this. Oh, the railguns do finally find the carrier. Now this may actually go down right here. I think it will actually. Yep, okay, so Blue is going to take this one. Unless he starts targeting a scanner. No! No! He even tries to EMP the carrier. I love the dedication, but it doesn't work that way. Oh my goodness. If you can just get over this hill though, like this thing is dead. For sure, right? Just another volley. One more volley. Okay, so Cowofschmau's carrier does go down there. Oh, that would have been hilarious. That scanner really coming in clutch, I'm sure you can agree. Oh boy. That, yeah, I don't know. I think BlueBoo really won that a little while ago, but he just needed to be a bit more focused on getting around the carrier and backstabbing the eco again. Right? He would have all these sand skimmers like get an opening into the carrier, and then he would just sort of sit around the carrier again with the sand skimmers rather than go into the main or into the third, which he now had an opening onto. If you can just keep up the pressure on all sides of the map constantly, your opponent just like drowns to death. Like they just can't handle it, you know what I mean? That's definitely what Blue had an option to do in the last game. It doesn't look like he totally exploited it properly, but it was good enough to get the win. And one thing I'll definitely praise him on is getting those armor upgrades for the assault ships. That really, I think, won him that game. Cow, meanwhile, actually had really good positioning there, I suppose. He just needed to be double producing off those production cruises, and I think he probably would have won that himself. So, we'll see how it goes on Torn Crater now. This was Blue's map pick, like I said, and I think this one is really good for ConF actually. But kind of again in that way that you can, you know, backstab really easily and get in and out of your opponent's base constantly. And I don't know, we didn't see Blue do that last game, but if he chooses to do it this game, he's gonna have a good time on this map. Asymmetry, wouldn't you agree? Anyway. As I pause to have a sip on my drink.
Carrier systems operation.
So Cow, I noticed, put one of his starting salvagers onto RUs. That actually is going to nicely put him in position to get assault ship tech immediately, if he wants to. But he's going to go for another production cruiser instead. So I'm not sure exactly what the idea here is, but maybe it's going to be railgun tech early. He probably would have a nice number of resources to get it, because once these two guys drop off, he's going to have the 200 for railgun fab. And about that time, he's also going to have the 450 CUs he needs. But no, he's actually going to start spending it on some sand skimmers. So I'm not sure exactly what build he's going for here. You can tell, like, if he had 300 more CUs right now, he could be getting railgun fab right. Oh my gosh. RU salvagers are a lot slower than I thought. I'm used to the mod where they only hold 20, but they mine at the same rate, and so yeah, I'm thinking they're going to drop off a lot faster. Maybe he does know what he's doing. Now he's got the 200, yeah, and he's about to get enough for railguns. He's 3 CUs off. You just grab this guy and click on the carrier, you'd be able to get it. But no, fleet capacity 45 comes out instead. So I'm not exactly sure what the play here for Cowofschmau is, but I assume we will figure out in a moment. It is going to be railgun fab. Fleet capacity is up. So again, just like last time, all he needs to do is just produce sand skimmers constantly here. Just make more of them than he did last time, and he should be fine. But again, like, he has an option to be producing 2 right now. He's only making 1. You gotta just be spamming sand skimmers in this position. And that is really, I don't know about that. Even if that does land, it doesn't actually do anything for you, so it's just kind of a waste of CUs, I think. Just, come on man, spam them sand skimmers. Spam them up. Pretend like you're eating spam. Spam it. I'm spamming the E button. That's all you gotta do is press E 3 times and then you're good. Railgun fab is actually coming out of BlueBoo as well with this What? He has 2 production cruises also. Okay, so somehow I didn't really notice this happening here. And he has Sandstorm Armor 1. Like, the only way that Blue is able to seemingly just have more of everything out on the field than his opponent here is because he's just producing. His opponent actually has the money for it. He's just not making it. And this bodes quite well for Blue if he chooses to stay. Because how often have I said it, but when you're doing a Sandskimmer rush, the focus is on the a Railgun rush, the focus has got to be on those Sandskimmers, right? Once you can just get more of those than your opponent, you basically can win, you know, like the rush build. If I were Blue, I would actually not be making Assault Railguns here, I'd just be making heavies. Just make like 1 heavy and then continue with Railgun, or with Sandskimmers. If your opponent has Assault Railguns, which he's making, it's not going to matter. And if he gets Railguns too, he's ready to hold off the siege, but you just stay on his second, so he can't push out on you either, and then you start mining. You should have a good game from him. It's actually something interesting. Like, I used to always go for Assault Railguns versus Galzian as well. You maybe remember some games of mine between, you know, like me and Montpefrolic, we would always do that. But I discovered at some point, actually, you do a lot better with heavy railguns in that matchup. Like, just 1 heavy railgun in the mix just completely nullifies any assault railgun play that your opponent tries to do. And then, at that point, I just started wondering, like, why am I even building assault railguns at all? And so I just kind of stopped. Against Coalition, I think it makes more sense because it's not a mirror matchup with the Sandskimmers, but, I don't know. This carrier here, by the way, Power Reserve 2 already being researched, so Blue definitely wants to back up just a little bit. No reason to take hits that you don't need to from that carrier. Oh, which is what I'm talking about right here. Ooh, he's actually taking a lot of damage here. I mean, it's good that he gets an Assault Railgun, yeah, but the Sandskimmers are kind of more important, I almost think, at this point. Although, that being said, Railgun Armor 1 is already finished for Blue, but you're still getting shot at. Like, you gotta move out here. I don't think he sees it. Even though the Assault Railgun's getting hit, yeah, you just gotta get out of range of that carrier, man. That thing's killing you. No, you're still in range there, buddy. It's just that there's no vision on you this time. But he's still kind of trying to buy position here with the carrier. You just want to back up, just back up a little bit, get heavy railguns, and you're gonna win this. But the other thing is he needs to be long distance mining, but he is, okay. So we can give him that. That means he has more money than his opponent, right? Just back up, back up. Don't fight the carrier. Don't fight that carrier. No, where are you going? No. Oh, he's taking so much damage to the carrier now. If he keeps this up, he's gonna lose this match. He definitely should not. I mean, he's got to win this. Oh no, he's still in range of the carrier. He just doesn't seem to realize it. Another thing with cowofschmau, by the way, if you rotate your carrier backwards here, Catharsis was talking about this earlier, but your missile launcher is right there, so if you rotate around backwards to face the enemy, you actually are going to have a much better time because you'll be firing missiles at that range too. Oh, Blue, you just stood in range of the carrier for so long. Now all these assault railguns are going to die here. I think he's going to lose a production cruiser for sure. He just doesn't have the damage output to kill this thing. Or sorry, to kill the railguns which are killing this thing. As the Sandskimmers do a power slide up onto that hill there, that's pretty cool looking. Oh no. How the great are fallen. I mean, Blue had this game, I think, in the bag, really, but he even got Power Reserve 1. He always does that. I don't approve, but... Oh no. He should have had this. You were supposed to destroy the... cowofschmau? I don't know. Not join him. You didn't join him either. The quote doesn't work here. Refiner mode coming up at equivalent times for both players. Tell me when refiner mode comes up, who is in the lead? The guy with 2 production cruises or the guy with 0? So I think Blue definitely gonna be losing this match here now. But oh, in such sad fashion too, because he was totally on top there. Ah, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate.
Be advised, tracking unidentified hostile.
Destination locked in. Destination verified.
Defense alert. Hostile carrier detected. Strike craft
trying to get cinematic on me here. Just trying to pretend I'm French. No, you know what would be cool is if this started like here. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that beaut. Oops. Turn the music off on accident there. If you're ever wondering, by the way, why the music just like randomly stops playing during matches, press plus or equals, and that'll turn it on and off. Production crews are getting hooned on once again here. I think actually this one may be going to go down as well. Cow definitely sort of tunnel visioning on it though. Yeah, it's not gonna, it doesn't have the damage. Oh well, he does if Blue moves over the cliff, of course. That also probably shouldn't have been killed there, but that's okay. Fourth base here from Cow, not actually quite set up. Whoa! Somebody knows how to queue up units. Holy goodness. I'm just gonna say it, if you have that many CUs, you're probably doing something wrong, but... Wow. Alright. Holy goodness. I love how the sand glows for a second after it gets hit, and then it cools down. It's a really nice effect there. DOK is a really beautiful game, I don't know. I'm clearly more interested in like the competitive side of it than the cinematic one, but I mean, man, it just looks good, you know? Looks better if you have end lips turned off, of course. Salvagers are just like freaking huge when you don't have end lips off. I mean, you see him compared to the carrier here, and then suddenly he's like almost the same size, I feel. That's an exaggeration, but still. End lips, of course, very nice for gameplay. In fact, in Homeworld 1, it wasn't even an option to turn it off, which is kind of surprising because Homeworld 1 has like so many customizable options, it's unreal, but...
Advance on you heavy. Carrier systems on.
So it's just a whole bunch of sand skimmers and then heavy rails for cowofschmau. That's all he needs. Holy, what the... Okay, when did Blue get Power 03? I didn't see that coming at all. Honor Guard Cruiser Fabrication's on the way, by the way. That could actually be pretty effective here. I feel like Blue should already kind of have lost, but... We'll see, we'll see. I mean, the counterattack from cowofschmau definitely could have been more effective, but he does still have a pretty frightening army right here. That's clear to see. Armor 2 about to finish on these sand skimmers. Again, though, you know, fighting on the carrier is not what you want to do. Once you see the carriers there, just go around it, right? And then whatever... Like, you know, I would actually pop into the second because that's where I'd assume he would be, but once you see he's not there, just go up to the third, take him out. Railgun armor upgrades would also be really nice here. Just increase the survivability of those rails, especially if they get jumped on by sand skimmers or whatever. Interceptor fabrication coming out now from cowofschmau. Don't think he really needs that, but we'll see. I mean, he doesn't really need much at this point, really.
Systems reading.
We have insufficient construction units. Awaiting deployment. Course set.
Course verified.
Systems online.
Ready for tracking new targets on the scan.
Base runners coming out of cowofschmau now. He does actually have really good map control, by the way, so this is not a bad move. That's one reason maybe interceptors don't make the most sense, because obviously you can only produce one thing at a time out of that carrier. But the flock of heavy railguns is starting to approach now. And there are a lot of them, so I mean, you know, that's gonna bode well for Cal. And you can see how much damage is gonna start being taken by this carrier, as long as it's in vision mode. Sandskimmer's jumping on top of these assault railguns here, but they're actually getting carrier blocks, so you can see no shots actually being fired there. They do finally take that one out. But this carrier just died really fast here, and I think that's going to be the end of the game. And Blue goes down actually right as that Honor Guard cruiser is about to pop, but I don't think that would have made too much of a difference. He could have moved this carrier like behind this dune here. Actually, maybe bought some more time, but he really didn't have a right to win that game once the 2 production cruisers went down, really. Oh my, how do you have so much money? He queues up 6 interceptors. Anyway, I don't know, I really think Blue should have won that game, though. He just, he stood in range of the carrier for so long. You can see all this death and destruction over on this side of the field. Normally, if it's near your opponent, you're doing well, but not in this case. Well, it's actually going to be a 1-1. That's an interesting result. I hope you guys enjoyed that, though. Catch you next time.